Money on my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again with another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. Today's topic: finding the perfect mix for your crypto portfolio. And the reason I'm going to be doing this episode specifically now is because we have been taking a beating in the altcoin market. Bitcoin is back below $100,000. Ethereum is back below $3,000. And I figure the people who've been waiting on the sidelines for the good deals, the good time to get in, are probably looking at now as one of those opportunities. I'm sure there's some people out there who think it's all over and pack it up and everything's just going to go astronomically lower. But honestly, a lot of the coins that I have in my portfolio right now are pretty darn close to entry price, honestly. Which not the greatest feeling, because you gotta ride those waves. But we've been doing some tweaks in our portfolio. We're continuing to do some tweaks. We're getting into our extremely high conviction lane, which means we're trimming the fat. Underperformers are getting booted out, and well, the entire space is pretty much underperforming right now. So we're moving into some positions that we have a little bit more willingness to ride these turbulence through. Again, high conviction. But I figured I'd do this for the new entrants coming into the market. I don't do a lot of remedial stuff. So kind of the wolf pack that's been with me, the 10 people that I make these videos for, they kind of already know what they're doing. They're kind of been in the market for a long time. Not necessarily a long time, but long enough they got enough dirt on them to know their way around. So I don't really do too many remedial videos on the topic of crypto. But I saw this as an opportunity, so that's what we went with for this portfolio update for the topic. Now that you guys have been around, you're talking about what's going on in the markets with me. You're getting hyped up for the information, the gems that are about to get dropped. I'm going to need you to do a couple of things for me. First and foremost, I need you to make sure you like the video on your way in. This is your reminder. Secondly, I need you, if you've been here more than twice, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As you can see, I'm not spamming your feed, except for the first week of the month where we have all the updates that you could possibly want about my financial situation. So that first week of the month is a heavy hitting month. We've got a couple. I've got one thing that I'm getting ready to add from a content perspective that's going to be pretty interesting on the traditional finance TradFi side of things. So for those of you who are getting ready to thinking about dabbling in setting up your brokerage accounts, I'm actually going to document me setting up a portfolio from scratch, which is going to be awesome. And yeah, so definitely subscribe, because there's going to be some things going on that might behoove you. I try to make everything over on this channel. Actually, it's not even try. Everything on this channel is all bag talk all the time. So it's about getting your finances in order, running that bag up, what to do with your money, different strategies that you could use. And we're testing it all with my money, because it's not financial advice. You're just watching me win or lose. It's kind of something you can stick around for. You hate me, you can hope I'm going to not make money. Probably not going to happen, but you can hope. Lastly, share this video. So if you got something out of this video, definitely somebody you care about will get something out of this video. And nobody wants to get wealthy by themselves, because you don't want to talk to dusties about money. You want to talk to other people that are interested in making money about money. So share this with your friends, so you guys can have conversations about this and other financial topics, and hopefully this gets some conversation started. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to bring it to the screen. Make me small over here. Matter of fact, just go ahead and make me disappear, because this is not about me. This is about the numbers, because numbers don't lie. People do. First and foremost, we've got Bitcoin dominance at 58.2%. Good gracious. Bitcoin is just sucking the air out of everything right now. Bitcoin is currently sitting at the time of this recording at $97,582.16. Not bad. Not bad. Definitely up. I've seen it bounce, and I saw it bounce down to about 95 this time around. Looks like MicroStrategy's eased up on their buy, so it's not getting bought right back up to $100,000. But other large entities are buying. Bitcoin doesn't necessarily need MicroStrategy to go up. It doesn't need the Bitcoin reserve in America to go up. It's a global thing, and there's a finite amount of it, which means we're all competing at getting pieces of the same pie, and most of you are only going to have crumbs. There's wealthy people that will be relegated to crumbs of Bitcoin. Just saying. Ethereum dominance is at 9.73%. Ethereum gas fees are under 1 GUI right now. Now would be a good time to just get on there and make some trades because fees are low, which is what we like. Vitalik said he was going to do something about the fees, and they've been low and they're getting lower, and I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Like, we might have to start moving into some legitimate Ethereum infrastructure plays as well if the fees are going to be this low, because at that point, daddy wants to come home. That's where the getting's good. Jumping down. Next thing we're going to talk about is the top 3 trending coins. Shout outs to CoinGecko for providing us with this wonderful information in an easy to look at dark mode format. If your website does not have dark mode, I will not use it. I won't use it. At number 1, we have Pinlink. At number 2, we have Barachain. And at number 3, we have B3. Now we get to jump into some fun stuff. The fun train just keeps on going. We're going to talk about the top 5 gainers and losers. And oh my goodness, do we got some losers. Okay. We got some legitimate losers. We've got some legitimate winners. Not as legitimate as we've seen, but this is sideways action, but it's pretty high, like it's over 50% jump. That's something to look at, makes you feel good. It's not necessarily 500,000%. It's not necessarily 10,000%. It's not necessarily 300%. It's not 100%, but 89% is nothing to shake a stick at. Like, I'd take that. That's a good one, especially during some downward pressure. So what do we have at number 1? We have at 961 Robinhood with a gain of 88.3%. Now, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just do the fact check on this right now, because I don't believe that this is a legitimate Robinhood token. I believe it's a meme coin. It is a meme coin based on the cartoon Robin Hood. It just so happens to have a logo very similar to the Robin Hood, the company logo. So do with your own due diligence. It's a meme coin. That's kind of what I thought it was. And here we are. But they're up 88.3%, which you cannot shake a stick at. At number 2, we have at rank 807. We have Yes No Error with a gain of 82.9% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 747 Lista DAO with a gain of 59.7% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 741. Oh, geez, allergies. 741, we have Ava AI with a gain of 56.7%. And last but not least, at number 5, we have AI Rig Complex sitting at rank 260 with a gain of 56.9% in the last 24 hours. Now, moving over to the losers list, I definitely hope none of you are on this list, but we got some crazy stuff going on over here because there are some legitimate losers. Normally, I say it's just some sideways action might be a good entry point. I don't think an 89% drop is a good entry point unless it's on something you have extremely high conviction on. And starting off with number 1, at rank 654, we have the Central African Republic meme, which is down 89.7%. That's probably not a good entry point. That looks like a dump sell-off. I don't know. It's a meme coin. We know all investments gambling. Meme coins are degenerate gambling. So it is what it is. Win some, lose some, dim some. At number 2, we have at rank 804, we have Stool Presidente with a loss of 56.8%. Another meme coin. Heavy red. That's heavy red, like 50s and 80s. Ooh, ugly. At number 3, we have at rank 639, we have Steam Dollars with a loss of 29.9% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, at rank 389, we have B3 with a loss of 19.3% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, at number 5, at rank 958, we have Camino Network with a loss of 18.3% in the last 24 hours. Now, we're going to move on over to the portfolio so we can have some conversations about that. Pull this on down. Before we jump head over heels into that portfolio, we're going to have to see where we're at. So on the 24-hour, we are up 4%, but overall, we are down 8.7%. That is thousands of dollars in the active portfolio. Now, a couple of caveats before we get into this, because I still haven't finished my housekeeping in this portfolio, but a couple of things to be noted, and I'm going to probably have to say this every time moving forward just to make sure we clear the air. This is not the only portfolio that I have. This is not all the crypto that I have. I've been in the market for going on 12 years now. This is the active portfolio. Now, most of my portfolio, the majority of it, is in cold storage in my high conviction plays, which we're going to talk about later on setting up and finding the perfect mix for your portfolio. This is a piece of my portfolio. It is not even 50% of my portfolio because I do not believe in gambling with over 30% of your portfolio. Now, that said, there's a couple of positions in here that are going to be moving, namely the Lido staked Ether position. We will also be trimming down the USDC position as we get our audit done on our liquidity farms to see actually where the cash is sitting. And probably this Ethereum position as well, but I leave that in because, whatever. The Lido staked Ether is how I'm holding my Ethereum because you get a little kicker for the Ethereum on-chain staking because why wouldn't you do that? And it's just more efficient. And that's basically the gist of it. So I skip over the Lido. I skip over the US dollar coin because cash positions do you guys no good. You guys want the gusto, the get. You want to know where the magic is happening. So that's what you're going to get. At number 1, we have Solana, SOL. At number 2, we have Radium, RAY. At number 3, we have Ethereum, ETH. At number 4, we have Aave, AAVE. At number 5, we have Injective, INJ. At number 6, we have Jupiter Perpetual Liquidity Provider Token. It's always a mouthful, JLP. At number 7, we have Wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC. At number 8, we have Superverse, SUPER. At number 9, we have Camelot Token Grail. And last but not least, we have at number 10, winding out the number 10 spot, we have Akash Network, AKT. Now, my altcoin portfolio, just like everybody else's, is heavily in the red. We're taking beatings all over the place. You can see in the 24-hour, we got some green. Last 7 days, red, 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 red. The top 10 is all red. We are all bleeding together. No one is absolved from this. You take the good with the bad. What I look at right now, when I'm looking at this portfolio, I am looking at repositioning. We are adding to a few positions. We are de-positioning out of Immutable X, IMX. We are condensing down to Superverse, which is my high conviction gaming play. IMX is cool, not a bad project. I like the project, but my conviction is on Superverse. I've held it for a long time. They have staking now. I like the way that it's set up. It's an infrastructure. They're part of all the major things that go on in gaming. They're really tapped in with the gaming ethos and ecosystem for DeFi or for GameFi. And so that's my high conviction. So I don't need 2 gaming tokens. I'm going all in and risking the biscuit with Superverse. I'm in a good position. We are down back around my entry. I'm pretty sure I am down a couple of percent on this position, and I will continue to dollar cost average out of Immutable X into Superverse. So that position will be growing a little bit. Another position that I am adding to is GMX. I like that ecosystem. It's an infrastructural DeFi ecosystem. It's multi-chain. I will be going in. They have staking there. Stuff that I like. Boring, and I like boring. So we're going to be adding more there. I am also looking at deleveraging out of my Thorchain Rune position because those tokens are just sitting, and I don't like that. Into Thorwallet Dex because I get benefits. It has staking. It pays. So I don't know that I need to necessarily be duplicating that position either to support the ecosystem, as the Thorwallet Dex TGT token has the staking, gives you additional community benefits. So I will be making that play as well. So that will probably be working its way back up in the top 10 also. We are also working on getting out of our Celestia position, which will probably be going into liquidity farming to get us some more income, potentially into GMX, potentially into Thorwallet Dex as well. Yeah, as far as that goes, I think that we are all good on the portfolio updates. Now, I'm bringing myself back in small because we're going to be doing something now. Now we're going to talk about finding the perfect mix for your crypto portfolio. Or actually, I should say finding the perfect mix, how I found the perfect mix for my crypto portfolio. So we are going to look at a couple of things. Like I said, I do not believe in gambling more than 30% of your portfolio, which means that what do I have? I am a big simplicity person. I'm like really I'm working like now that we're doing the trim. My top 10, I honestly want to only be in 10 positions. Now, during the bull run, during alt season, getting prepared for alt season, I'll throw some feelers out. So there'll be some like little positions, but like my top 10 is the majority of my portfolio. As you can see, like even on the pie chart, the top 10 is the top 10. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, 8 is actually like if you view the others, Sol is 21% of the portfolio. That's my number one position. Staked Ethereum is 17.52% of my portfolio. And we skip over that. That's just what we've been accumulating throughout the year to put into cold storage. USDC, those are cash positions. Next one up, Radium, next position. Ethereum, just plain ETH, next position. Aave, next position. Injective, which we're also trimming our Injective position down. We're gonna be redistributing that. Not because I don't have conviction in it. I'm keeping a good portion of it, but it's over position. And there's other positions that I would like to have that in. And then I have others that are down here that are nondescript that are 23% because it's a few $100 here, a couple $100 there, $100 here. And a lot of those positions were airdrops. We got a lot of this others from airdrops, which means I didn't even spend money on those. Those were just given, which is awesome. I love airdrops. But this is an active portfolio. Now, when you look at the grand scheme of things, this whole portfolio altogether is less than 30. It's 30% or less of the majority holding of my total collective portfolio because I try to keep things simple. So when I say finding the perfect mix for me, I'm a simple guy. I try to keep things simple when it comes to money. Why do we have an active portfolio to begin with? Why wouldn't you just buy into your core portfolio and just have that? Because during alt season, you get astronomical opportunities to get massive upside, life-changing upside within the altcoin space. And we take those gains and convert them into things that were long, and then rinse and repeat for another 4 years, getting ready for the next bull run. So the reason we're in this space, the reason you'll see some random positions, all of this stuff is subject to be clipped and converted over into my high conviction long-term hold, and then it's going to end up in cold storage. The majority of it ends up in cold storage. That's the reason we have an active portfolio, to acquire more of our high conviction positions. Now, how do we break that out? Well, I've been in the market for 12 years. So, well, going on 12 years. So I look at things on a very different level of timeline and different windows than most people. So during the bull run, I'm looking at a 12-month to 24-month window. That's what we're looking at. We started this portfolio, and this is the first time we didn't break the whole portfolio down, because those of you who are following me on the old channel, we would tear it down, convert everything over to ETH, kick a big chunk of it into cold storage, then start over, and we take the tax return money and all the cash that we could get our little grubby hands on and flood it into the market to get all coins and get position in other positions to rinse and repeat and start over. This year, we're going to be transferring out the staked Ethereum position, but we're not tearing the portfolio down because we're still in the bull run, which, like I said, it's about 24 months. Could be a little bit longer. We don't know, but like, we feel that out as we go. We've been through the 12. We're going into the towards the 24 now, which means that like everything gets way more strategic. It's like, okay, so how much gambling do we want to do with this portfolio? Because I don't want to run this portfolio to zero. Like, I got a good grip of money in here. I got a good amount of staked Ethereum tied up in this portfolio right now. We're looking at it from the perspective of maximizing those gains, getting some big wins, getting some low risk big wins, such as Solana, that has the potential to be a big win, low risk, lower risk. It's a blue chip. I'm not emotionally tied to any of these projects. It is what it is. I have the ability to make money over there, and when it's up and doesn't have to be rebooted, it runs like butter, and I like it. So their DeFi ecosystem is something that is usable. I use it. There's plays to be made on Solana. Also, it's a blue chip. It's like my blue chip high risk stock or high risk coin, to where I can massive upside. There's less risk than with a lot of the other projects because it's up in the top 10. It just is what it is. But the collective, it is not in my collective long term, which means that like that whole position, I will remove myself out of that ecosystem when the time comes, and it's going to get converted. It'll get converted over into Ethereum, and we just going to keep it pushing, and it's going to be a good day, and we'll take our wins and we'll walk with them. And it's the same for every other position. All my other ecosystem plays, all the stuff that I have in the Cosmos ecosystem, which I like the ecosystem, but like it's not getting the energy that some of these other ecosystems are getting. There's some good DeFi opportunities in there, and we are leveraging and utilizing all available. We trying to get all the bags in the altcoin space. So we're utilizing all these ecosystems. But again, it goes down to that perfect mix. And for me, having been here for almost 12 years now, I'm boring. And I tell people this all the time because the law of large numbers has taken effect on my crypto portfolio, which means that like no matter, all I have to do is not lose all my money. And, you know, that's going to be a bucket that's going to turn into $1 million at some point because of the positions that I'm in. So when I'm gambling with my 30%, I'm not gambling as loose as a lot of other people. A lot of people are like, oh, well, like you don't have any meme coins in your top 10. I'm like, why would I? Like, I don't need those. And I understand the gurus like to dabble in that to make videos to go viral because they're talking about it and getting in the community to get followers because they're getting paid to be on YouTube. I'm not getting paid to be here, and I am not going to risk my money giving people bad advice that's going to get us all a loss. Like, I'm not going to lose with you. Like, I don't play games to lose. Also, again, like if I've got a good chunk of money that can be a good grip of staked Ethereum that'll just grow on its own, I'm not trying to really gamble that off. Like my gambles are low positions. That's like $100, couple of $100. I'm not gambling with thousands of dollars. Now, positions that I'm like, hey, I think this has the potential to do something, but I could be wrong. There's risk involved. Those are like a couple of $1,000 positions, $1,000, something like that. But again, I'm not trying to whittle my portfolio down to zero and just be like, oh, well, I'm just going to sit on it and then use my hard-earned money to just continue losing. Like, that's crazy talk to me. So I'm not going to do that. What we're doing is we're building up positions that we have conviction in. There's a little bit more risk than my high conviction portfolios, and we're going to take those gains and we're going to convert those over. So what are my high convictions? Well, good thing you guys are asking. Number one, very boring. Bitcoin. Yeah. So, how much portfolio is this pulling from? Well, whatever. So we're looking at we can turn that off because that's not even that portfolio that we're looking at. I was like, I don't even know where that Bitcoin came from. That's an older portfolio. But we're looking at Bitcoin. Why? It's number one. That's the first obviously. It's the first cryptocurrency ever created. I could run down the deal, but I mean let's just go let's throw out the max and we'll just look at this. So this is the max chart. This is Bitcoin. As you can see, over time, for those of you not looking, it's just it's volatile, but it's going up and to the right. It's continuously going up and to the right. There's just really nothing else to say about this. It's being adopted by governments. We have, I think it was, hold on, I want to be accurate. Many American states have Bitcoin reserve bills 2025. So we've got 16 states, including the great state of Kansas, that are getting Bitcoin reserves. And just since we're on the topic, let's just go through which states. Utah has proposed a bill for a Bitcoin reserve. Texas has proposed a bill for a Bitcoin reserve. Arizona has proposed a bill for a Bitcoin reserve. Illinois has even proposed a bill for a Bitcoin reserve. Hold on. Pennsylvania was the first state that proposed a bill for a Bitcoin reserve, but Kansas is on that list. This article that I found does not have the list. Oh, Bitcoin reserve bills are considered in 20 states. New Mexico, Missouri, Kentucky, Iowa, Florida, North Dakota. Oh, North Dakota rejected a Bitcoin reserve bill during its second reading. That's not good. Not good. It's just not going to be good. It's gonna be according to Bitcoin Reserve Monitor. Oh, here we go. There we go. I'm going to actually link this for those of you who, there's a website that actually tracks this. So we have pending Bitcoin reserve bills. We have Montana has proposed one. Wyoming has proposed one. South Dakota has proposed one. Iowa has proposed one. Illinois has proposed one. Missouri has proposed one. Great state of Kansas has proposed one. Oklahoma has proposed one. Texas has proposed one. New Mexico has proposed one. Kentucky has proposed one. Pennsylvania has proposed one. New Hampshire has proposed one. Massachusetts has also proposed one. North Carolina has proposed one. Alabama has proposed one. Florida has proposed one. Florida needs one. Like, that's crazy talk. That and then Arizona is in progress of considering a proposition. Utah is also in progress of considering a proposition. And Maryland has proposed one. North Dakota has rejected theirs. North Dakota, we need to keep an eye on them because they are going to probably be destitute in a few years. They're on the wrong side of the trade. But it is what it is. So me personally, I follow the money. Bitcoin is the kingmaker. Everything in crypto revolves around Bitcoin. So that's my number one holding. Individual coin, number one holding, period. Oh, it's boring. Like, yeah, it's been boring the entire time I've held it, but you know what else it's done? Outperformed literally everything else. So no qualms there. That's number one. Now, my number two holding of high conviction is Ethereum. It's the number two coin. And again, boring. A lot of people are talking smack on it, but I'm going to pull up another website here so that way we could see why are we on Ethereum. Well, I missed the boat. I had the opportunity to be on Ethereum heavy and I didn't. But what I do like to look at every once in a while, I'm going to go ahead and pull this page up in reference to my Ethereum conversation. For those of you not looking, this page is DeFi Llama. I will also throw this in the links under resources. So we're going to have the tracker for the U.S. Treasury, Bitcoin Reserve tracker to let you guys know which states are proposing and where they're at with them as far as Bitcoin reserves go by states buying. This is not the federal government. This is the individual states, which I believe is actually more important. The states need to be sovereign. And in order for these states to kind of maybe have an opportunity to either increase their sovereignty or remove themselves from the teat of the federal government, they need to probably manage their money better. And a strategic Bitcoin reserve is probably one of the best ways to do that and ensure that your state is not a pauper in the future. So I'll have that link in there for those of you who care. But what we're showing right now is DeFiLlama.com. And I have clicked on chains. And we want to look at the chain comparison. And this is important. It's the total value locked on all chains. Now, this is why it's important, because people talk trash about Ethereum all the time. And if you look at the DeFi, this is how much money is sitting on the chain. Ethereum has $57.36 billion sitting on that chain in various forms and fashions. The next runner up as an individual chain, and congratulations to Solana, they're moving in, they've jumped up, is Solana, which everyone's saying is an Ethereum killer, has 8.57% of all the money in DeFi. 53.01% is sitting on Ethereum. The next runner up is Solana, which has 8.57%, which is only 9.277 billion. Bitcoin is the next runner up behind them with 6.27%, which equates to $6.783 billion on that chain. And the reason I bring this up is when people talk about, oh, Ethereum's not performing, Ethereum's doing this, Ethereum's doing that, Ethereum's not doing anything this run. You guys don't understand, and some of your gurus don't understand when they talk about Cardano, which isn't on here. Like, Cardano doesn't even have its own branch out because they don't have a thriving DeFi ecosystem. Like, I don't even know where they're at on here. Like, can we find Cardano? Where is Cardano? Cardano's number 21. 21. How many active addresses do they have? 27,543. Total value locked on the chain is $358.3 million. They're number 21. And people are talking about Cardano is going to pop off. Like, when? When? They have $358 million. $358 million. In comparison to $57.368 billion, in comparison to $9.277 billion, they're not even at $500 million on that chain. But everything's going to take Ethereum. Ethereum is 53% of the DeFi space, which means 53% of all the money in DeFi is on Ethereum. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't have the majority of his money in DeFi on Ethereum because the fees were expensive. I don't want to pay for it. Like, I use alt chains also. I'm on these other chains also actively. Like, I'm not just holding tokens, listening to a guy have his communist rants talking about how everybody's supposed to be in the space while spouting off nonsense that shows that he is not active in the DeFi space. All you got to do is look. All the numbers are available. Crypto is the most transparent thing you can have. Like, you can see where all the money is. I'm showing you right now. Like, I wish more people just went and looked and went, oh, where all the money's at. That's the reason Ethereum's number 2 for me. They have the Ethereum Foundation. They've got a lot of money back in this chain. All the money's sitting on this chain. There's a reason that everything else bridges to Ethereum. Cardano is hard-headed. They do not want to play with Ethereum because Hoskinson doesn't like the fact that he was over there with the winning team and went to go build his own thing and then thought he was going to blackball the thing that he came from and ended up blackballing himself. All altcoins do well during the bull run. All altcoins do well during alt season. The ones that are going to be around this Ethereum number don't change much. Their piece of the pie doesn't change. It's the little guys that change, because I remember when Tron was the next one behind them and they had 12% of all DeFi. They are declining. You can see by where these people are, where these chains are ending up, what's going on in the space, and probably where you're going to find the best deals, where you're going to get the most action, where you're going to be able to see growth. Because I've been killing it over on Solana, notably because people are moving there and they're using that DeFi ecosystem. And you know what else it does? Bridges to everything else, including Ethereum. So I can move money around as I see fit without any middlemen. Some of my other lackluster performers, such as Arbitrum, for example, there's still some opportunities over there and there's some useful tools over there, but it's shrinking. It's shrinking. So I know that, like, outside of those tools, I don't want a bunch of money parked over on Arbitrum because it's not going to benefit me. I'm not going to make money. I don't want the stuff there, which also means that I'm not focused on holding that token either. This is why in my active portfolio, Solana is the number 1 holding. Notably, they're growing. They're growing. More money is going in there. That means the token's going to go up. Now, I'm going to give a couple of potential third positions because me, like I said, I keep it simple. I've only got 3 positions that are high conviction, that are longs, that are in my cold storage. Bitcoin followed by Ethereum in size, number 1 and number 2. My third is going to be a little bit of an oddball one, but I like it. It's about me. It's about me. It's about what I'm doing. And you know, I'm feeling myself about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about it. So the first one that I'm gonna show is XRP. And the reason I'm gonna show XRP, shout out to the XRP army. This coin has staying power. It has utility. So like I could see it being a third. I could see it being a second if like you're really just feeling like you're priced out and you don't want to buy parts of Ethereum. I could even understand this being a solid third place. It's got staying power. The SEC tried to sue them out of existence. They said, I'm going to take my ball and leave, and went and did business all over the world. Survived their lawsuits. Came back. And yeah, just they're getting ready. They're positioned now. They're a global player. They did not try to stay in the ecosystem that people try to pigeonhole them in as like, oh, you're just trapped within America. Like you're an American company. You got to do what America says. They just took their ball and left, which is what a lot of people are going to start doing if the ship doesn't get righted on the financial aspect. Like, I mean, stuff's bad enough as it is, but like you can't mess up the money too. Like people can't make money or you're going to make it hard for people to do business. They just won't be here. There's these things called boats. There's these things called airplanes, trains, and automobiles. All of them you can use to leave a place that you're at to go somewhere more amicable. So XRP could be a potential number 3. Like that would be a good solid one. And I'm just giving examples. Now, what you want for your number 3, you want something a little bit spicier than the Bitcoin and Ethereum, a little bit more upside, right? You're kicking out the risk curve, but you don't want something degenerate that you're going to try to hold long term that's going to just go to zero, which a lot of projects, like if they're not actually being used and you're not verifying that like these things, the stuff that your gurus are telling you are real, you're liable to end up in a pump and dump in a coin that is going to go to zero eventually, and now you're just nuking your long-term holdings. Like you gotta think very carefully about your next positions after you get Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I think, in my opinion, when I talk to people and those aren't their majority holdings, I just think that they're going to be poor eventually. Like I'm like, you're just working, you're doing a roundabout way to think you're doing something just to end up broke. In my opinion, I'm like, if Bitcoin and Ethereum, like you're not gonna go with the crypto that's been around for 15 years that governments are buying. You're too good for that. You're not gonna go for the coin that has all of the DeFi infrastructure on it with all the money sitting on it. You're too good for that. You're smarter. You think Ethereum's going to zero with 53%. Over $50 billion sitting on the rails of that chain. You think that chain's going to zero? That's insane to me. Like you don't know finance well. Like you're either that or you can't do math. Like one of the two. But either way, you're on the way to being broke. Like that's just the facts. Those are numbers. Math doesn't lie. People do. And in these YouTube streets, a lot of people are lying to you. They are. They just are. They're giving opinions. They're giving you their hot takes, and they're telling you to bet the bank on things that they're not betting the bank on. I'm just gonna be honest. When most of them and most of the people in this space, it's a known for the OGs in this space. We trade during alt season to get more Bitcoin and Ethereum, basically, and then whatever else you're high conviction on. But like, I don't know anyone who's been in this space for as long as I have that their predominance of their portfolio aren't Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know why? Because every year that we've been here, that's been here. Every year that we've been here, most likely Ethereum's been here. We saw Ethereum go through its paces. We've also lost a bunch of money investing heavily and shifting our focus into things that were supposed to be Ethereum killers. This is going to be the new Bitcoin. There's no Ethereum killer. There's no new Bitcoin. Does that mean that there can't be other coins that are alongside them? Absolutely not. But If you have 53% of the DeFi space and your next closest single chain is Solana with 8, it's not hard to math that. So XRP could definitely be a third place. Which also XRP is not on that. Hold on. Let's go look at DeFi Llama. Is XRP even somewhere on here? Like, I'm not even seeing XRP. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. So, like, the whole DeFi on XRP thing, like, no, stop it. No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop it. Like, you're definitely not going from 0 to 53% day one. Like, it's going, I mean, I think people should check this. Like, if you're not super deep into the market, like, you should check this at least once a quarter, just to see what's moving and what's where. That's what I would say. Like, I would just say that, because, like, even, I mean, I understand that people will be like, oh, well, look at the 1 month change, it's going down 10%. I'm like, okay, they still got $57 billion on the chain, and the second place, which is Solana, which has improved, up 8.65%. So you could say basically all the people who left Ethereum over the last month, all this 9% of money that got sloshed around, went straight to Solana. And guess what? They've only got 8.57% of the DeFi market. 8.57. The rest of it's still Ethereum, dude. Like, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, there's a big chasm between 8.57% and 53%. And, like, Ethereum would literally have to turn off for that pie to just get eaten up like that. Like, that's just not how stuff works. It's just not. And it's not happening. So, you know, like, do with that what you will, but, like, we go based on math. So XRP isn't even on this list. Like, I can't find it. It's, if it's somewhere buried down in the others, like, I don't even know, like, where that would be, because, I mean, it's just non-existent because they don't have a DeFi ecosystem. And I mean, this list goes pretty far. There's like a bunch of different stuff on here with ecosystems where people are doing stuff, and none of it is even close to Ethereum. So it's just not, it's not comparable. So a lot of these conversations about, oh, this chain is going to do this and this is going to happen and Ethereum's going to get knocked off the throne, and it's like, no. High key, likely not, because nothing's even close. Nothing's even close. Like, I could say, okay, like, maybe if it was like Solana had, you know, like, every other market shares price, and it was like 20% of the market, I'd be like, you know what, they could make some pushes and just encroach on this space, and maybe eventually. But like 8%, with the closest I've ever seen anything else get close to it was Tron, when they were 12%, and Bitcoin was still over 50% of the market. Like, all these little smaller chains, Solana, Bitcoin, Tron, Binance Chain, Base, Arbitrum, Barachain, Sui, Avalanche, all of those chains, they're fighting amongst each other. They're not fighting with Ethereum. Ethereum's usually over 50% of the DeFi market. They're competing with each other to eat up all that other space. They're not competing with Ethereum. They're not even close to competing with Ethereum. They're competing amongst themselves. So you got to know what lane stuff is in. Now, that brings me to another example. Another good third one could be Solana, especially for this run. Solana's been doing great. It's been my best performer in my active portfolio. Something to be said. And I said, like, depending on how we come out of this, like, I might keep some just to like have some, just keep a little finger in that ecosystem so that I can keep capitalizing on the growth that they're having over there and the income opportunities that are within their DeFi ecosystem. We'll see, because they died. I said it. And they went down. I thought they were never coming back. And those VCs, gosh darn it, are going to get their due. They're going to get their money back. And I respect that. And I'm going to get some of their money too. And depending on the performance, I will for sure be holding on. That's weird. I don't even know what that is. Oh, okay. Huh. Weird. So, but yeah, like I said, like, I mean, I gave it a little quick look there. We're still up 50% on that position, and there's almost 10,000. Actually, there's over $10,000. They're just in income positions in that holding that are tied to Solana. I've got a lot of money on the Solana ecosystem for this run. So like I could see this being a third. There's people who have it as a first, and I'm like, if you had conviction, because like I know some people over in the bag chasers that were buying up Solana at $8, and I laughed at them, and I was wrong. I can admit that. But if you were one of the people who were getting in at $8 and you rode this up to 2, you know what? If this is it up in there, and you have this swapped out for Ethereum, for your scenario, I understand, because you bought it a special time and you won the lottery. Because I started buying, I think when it was around 50 was when I started getting in position, and I'm really happy with the performance too. And it's one of those things where it's like, they could win me over. They could end up in the long-term holding. I could see that. I could see that being a fourth position. I don't know that it would necessarily be more than my chain link position, but like I could see it being in there. Now, my actual position that I have for my third position, and these are the only things that I've gotten cold storage, is chain link, which a bunch of people will be like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I got it under $10. So, and it's been around for a long time. And infrastructurally, if you are doing anything real world related, this is touching that. It's an Oracle service. I know that Chainlink keeps trying to say that they're going to do other stuff because people don't understand oracles anymore. They just use them all the time. But on the back end, Chainlink is heavily utilized. And it's been around for a long time. And it's just my third position. That's just what it is. It's like an infrastructure piece. I like infrastructure. I like base layer. And this is the Oracle. So anything that's a real world asset that needs data from out in the real world to bring into DeFi goes through Chainlink. It's an important infrastructural piece. There would be DeFi wouldn't function without Chainlink. Like it would just not even be anywhere close to the iteration of DeFi that we have right now, which I think is pretty awesome. That keeps getting better. Wouldn't be what it is without oracles, and Chainlink was the first one. So that's why I'm a part of it. And like if you go out and kick it out to max, like we've seen some pretty big jumps. Like it was down it started off in exchange, and then we kicked up to as high as 46, and then that was pretty much the last bull run. And I think we're going to see those numbers. It's not something that I'm looking to sell though. Like I'm probably wouldn't sell too much. It depends on how much we end up with over this run, but I'm not necessarily looking to sell out of that position. It's my number 3 position, so I have like a bare minimum that I want to keep in there. And then if we get a little bit over, we might shave a little bit, do something with it, but considering it's a long-term high conviction holding for me, I have no inclination of selling this. It's the same as with Bitcoin. I don't like the Bitcoin that's in cold storage doesn't come out of cold storage. My my chain link that's in cold storage does not come out of cold storage. Like once the chain link gets in there, it stays in there. That's where it lives. And I actually have some that I need to add in there because like I do have a minimum of what I'd like to have in there. So we're gonna be adding to it towards the end of this bull run. But yeah, and so that's my thoughts on the perfect mix. I think it's really important to keep it simple. As far as like what you're gonna have in your, especially if you're like cold storage holding, like this is super high conviction, I just throw it in there and don't look at it except for when I'm tallying up what my net worth is. I don't really think you need if you've got over 5 things in there, man, like I've been in this space for almost 12 years. I've got 3. Flirting with putting a 4th. Like, and that's after 12 years. I've seen a lot of coins come and go. There's 3 that have solidified their positions in there, and 1's flirting with it after 12 years. Like, Bitcoin and Ethereum, staples. Dealer's choice for the 3rd one. I wouldn't go over 5, and I'd figure it out. Like, what are you going to hold for decades at a time and not look at or feel the need to sell? Because I understand a lot of people are like, oh, well, like this is going up. Like my Bitcoin, I've had that Bitcoin for a long time and I haven't sold it. It's like something to, like that's something to like look at. Like, are you here? Because like the stuff that you're going, oh, I'm getting in, I'm getting out, and I'm going to do this and I'm moving and shaking. Those are not long-term convictions. Those do not belong in cold storage because it's just going to be a bunch of work to get it out. Because like if you got to sell quickly, moving it from your cold storage, your Trezor, your Ledger, your whatever you're cold storing on, to send it to the exchange, like now you got to wait like precious minutes. You've got beads of sweat on your forehead to go make this sale. It's just adding friction for you to get in and out of the position anyway. So like you shouldn't be cold storing things that aren't high conviction. I also say don't keep stuff on an exchange, especially a seedy one that you're not willing to part ways with, because you could be in a scenario where the exchange fails. There's also that. But overall, like my stuff that I'm very long on goes into cold storage. I look at it once a month, and for when I'm tallying up my net worth, and that's it. It just sits there. And I add to it. I generally don't move stuff out. Like there's not a lot of transactions on my cold storage wallet. And most of them are incoming. It's like you got some stuff. You got some more Ethereum. You got some more Bitcoin. You got some more Chainlink. So it depends on what you're looking at. But what I do want to know, actually, I got 2 questions for you guys that watch the whole video. Are Bitcoin and Ethereum your predominant holdings? That's the first question. Question number 2, what are your 3, and I don't want to hear over 5. What are your positions 3 to 5 that you're high conviction on outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum? Those are going to be the questions. If you made it this far in the video, definitely give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. Definitely share the video because we're not trying to get rich over here by ourselves. Crypto's confusing and a lot of people don't tell the truth. They're trying to sell you stuff. I'm not. And I do tell the truth. I tell my truth. I don't know if it's the truth, but it's my perspective. And I mean, I've been here for a while and yeah, I'm not doing too bad for myself in regards to my portfolio. So it is what it is. But share the video, like the video. If you've been here more than twice, make sure you're subscribed. I will see you guys next week for the next crypto portfolio update. Thank you for rocking out with me. It's your boy Reckless Rated Arrow, and we are out. Peace.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't blame it, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.